Here's a quick video of enameling and what that looks like. So it's actually where I'm torch firing glass onto, for me, either copper or sterling silver. I really tend to lean towards copper because I love the reactions it has with the fire and the glass. So I'm warming this up with a MAP gas, and it's got to get to be about 700-800 degrees before I can really let it adhere to the glass. And so the glass can be in a powdered form. Sometimes I have glass that's suspended in clay, and that gives a really neat effect. But in this video, I'm just dredging it in a powdered glass. And so when it gets to be about 800 degrees, it's going to get 800 to 900 degrees. It's going to get to be almost something that looks like an orange peel. So I could actually leave it at that point, but I like to go a lot smoother. I am counter enameling, which means that I'm taking both sides and putting glass on both sides. With my sculpture work, it's not necessary, but I like to go, I'm overly cautious about making everything be structurally sound. So here I'm mixing up some colors. It's not always necessary to do that. Sometimes I'll do a solid color. Sometimes I'll come back later and apply an acrylic enamel on top, which is where I've kind of hand painted my own design, and you'll see that at the end of the video, but I really do love that effect. So in a minute, I'm just going to be kind of sprinkling another color on, and I like to play with opaque glasses with translucent glasses because it just gives that watercolor look. And again, glass is everywhere in my work of some kind, as that influence always. So if I ever have to do a second layer, I've got to be very careful on how I warm up the glass, because if it warms too quickly and cools too quickly, it can fracture. So I just keep an eye on it and stay away from the flame and then bring it up closer. So yeah, it's a neat process. You never know what you're going to get, and I love that. It's kind of happy accidents all the time. And coming up, you're going to see some pieces that are pretty much like what I'm working on right here. It's kind of it shows you 3 different variations of how I work with the glass. So the first one that you're going to see is pretty much what you saw in the video. It's got a little bit of translucent and opaque glass. And the second one is where I've hand painted that design on. It's really fun. And then the third is actually copper and steel, where I've wrapped steel around it. So I love that method. Coming up, I've got some that I actually paint with the flame. And what that means is I take a really low heat with the flame, and it actually brings in those beautiful purple hues. And I've actually forged and formed the metal by getting it hot and cold various times, and it's a process for sure. So I hope this was helpful. And look, there's me in my little couture hat. So please stay tuned for more, and I appreciate you stopping by.